It's a historic day at Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com because we have now chewed up a 50 burger. This is episode number 50 of Wake Up the Echoes. What a thrill it's been to be in this chair now for the 50th time. And for our final football episode of the year, we saved football for the spring game, of course. Blue Gold is coming up this weekend. It's presented by Meijer. And we had a great chance to talk to the head coach, Marcus Freeman, and also new general manager, Mike Martin. They came in and talked about all their plans for 2025. I have been struggling to turn the page on 2024, as those of you who follow this show know. I'm really clinging to that national championship game run. But Coach Freeman and Mike Martin did a great job helping me turn the page and start focusing on 2025. And we'll get a chance to watch offense versus defense in the Blue Gold game presented by Meijer on Saturday. If you're watching and can't make it, I'll be on the broadcast. You can watch on Peacock. So should be a great weekend of football. Some great conversations with those guys. Later in the show, we of course had Isaiah Dunn come perform his Dunn in a Minute. Really an electric interview with Leonard Moore, who is the talented freshman cornerback from a year ago. He's back for his sophomore season. So some great conversations with the two of them. And then finally, Bryant Young, Hall of Famer, stopped by. He joined the show and we talked to him. Of course, his son Bryce is on the team making a great impact, and it was really neat to talk to him about obviously his playing days here, but also about what it's been like to be a Notre Dame dad for the first time this past season. One more note before we get to this week's episode is that the Yeti cooler that we've had everyone sign throughout the year, we've now got a date that you can start making bids on this incredible piece of memorabilia here in the studio. Again, almost every guest that's been on the show has signed this cooler starting a week from now, April 15th until May 15th. If you go to fightingirish.com/wakeup, you can place a bid to possibly become the owner of this cooler. And the proceeds from whoever does bid the most for this cooler are going to go now to the Boys and Girls Club of Northern Indiana Corridor. So a great opportunity to, of course, help out that Boys and Girls Club and also get your hands on what is truly a one-of-a-kind piece of memorabilia here in the studio. It's kind of been a fixture of our set all season long. I will be sad to see it go. Also, don't have to worry, my signature is not on this cooler, so the value will remain as high as can possibly be. And again, nearly every person that's been on the show has signed it this year. So make sure to go to fightingirish.com/wakeup if you want to place your bid. All right, without further ado, let's talk to Marcus Freeman and Mike Martin. Okay, Coach, here we are, final show of the year, and you brought along a new member of the staff. Mike Martin's here. Great to have you on the set of Wake Up the Echoes.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's an exciting week. I want to talk about his addition to the staff, but I actually want to start with spring game real quick, if we can, because it's coming up this week. Offense versus defense is kind of the new wrinkle. Can you help me understand the scoring? Because I looked at a document, and if you can explain it to me, then we'll have great success. Because I was looking at it, and all I took away was that 12 points for a defensive score. That's what I know is going to be the highlight of the day if they get one.
Yeah, 12 points for a defensive score. There's a lot of different ways to score, especially defensively. I think it's like takeaways, depending on your own territory, the offense's territory. Is a certain amount of points. Tackles for loss, forcing the offense to punt, missed field goals, all these different ways. Offense is really traditional. It's like either you have an explosive play for over 20 yards, you get like 2 points, first down 1 point, field goals are 3, and touchdowns are 6, extra points are 1. And so offense doesn't have as many ways to score other than first downs and explosive plays, but defense has to find unique ways to score. But at the end of the day, it's all to the head coach's discretion. And so I just had a meeting with our entire staff, said, listen, I'm going to find a way to keep this scrimmage close. So at the end, somebody's got to score, somebody's got to get a stop.
So we might get a repeat of Steve Angeli diving for the pilot in your first year. Yeah,
absolutely.
The walk-off touchdown.
That's right.
It's highlight of the spring game in my time.
Freeman scoring system.
Head coach always has the call. Mike, from your standpoint, with the spring game coming up, I know you've been here just a little while.
Yeah.
What excites you about this time of year, getting a chance to see these guys get on the field for the first time?
Yeah, we try to simulate like live action as much in practice as we can, but I think this is as close to a real game. So right from coming out of the locker room to the warm ups, all the different things, it's just probably our best chance to evaluate the guys. And so I mean, I'm excited to see them move around, see what they do even before, we say hut, it's just I'm learning these guys, and so I'm just excited to see what they do.
Yeah, we're going to get good weather too, which is nice.
Right.
I've heard you...
What's the weather supposed to be?
Like mid-50s, sunny though.
Okay.
Mid-50s and sunny is perfect.
Yeah,
break a sweat, but don't have to worry about getting too hot. Like, I think that's nice when you're down
as
there.
long as it's dry.
Wasn't it snowing a couple of years ago?
Oh, it's spring games. You never know what you're going to get. Snowing, raining. At least we're getting sun. We're good.
It's South Bend. I've seen a lot of other schools kind of modify. You modifying the format, but you're still having a spring game. It's presented by Meyer, I should mention, by the way. But you're having a spring game, which I think is great. And I know that you mentioned it's important for the community because it's a great opportunity for those that might not be able to make it to regular season games to get out here. So just from your standpoint as the head coach, why is it so important to make sure that this date kind of still exists on the calendar?
Yeah, I think about even growing up myself, the opportunity probably before I was recruited to go to a spring game was something that, I kind of remember as a young person. And, you don't get the opportunity all the time to pay the money that it costs to go to a regular season game. And so I think for our greater community of South Bend, especially young people that don't get an opportunity to see Notre Dame football players playing a game, it means the world for us to continue to interact with the people that are closest to us, and that's the people here in the greater South Bend area. But, listen, it's always great for our guys to be able to compete around fans, with fans watching in some type of game day environment. And I think, for us, the reward is greater than what it would be if we canceled the game.
Okay, take me to the next part of this, which is that this is always a great recruiting weekend. Also, this, you've got Mike here. You're developing a new kind of recruiting staff as well. There's a lot of different moving parts. Just a weekend like this, how great is it for the staff to kind of get a chance to hit the ground running as well?
Well, they've been running since.
That's true.
They've been gotten here. Spring is unique, where every day it's almost like an official visit. You have so many different guys coming on campus, but we'll have a lot of our signees here for the spring game. We'll have a lot of our commits here for the spring game, and guys that want to get a feel for what Notre Dame game day environment is like, and they'll get a taste of it. And so they're going to be busy, right? His staff has done a tremendous job with really, when some family decides to come to campus to visit, it's so important that we give them the total experience, and the spring game will be another opportunity to do that.
So Mike, from your standpoint, the thing I'm most curious about with you is obviously the difference between this and what you were doing in the NFL. Just from your vantage point, what are the biggest distinctions in this role and what you were doing prior to coming here?
I'd say one of the biggest things is the recruiting part, right? You got to get guys to say yes, which you don't really have to do in the NFL. You throw a pick at them, and they're coming to you no matter what. But here it's actually, getting them here, building relationships, even more so, I think, than I did when I was in the NFL. Talking to parents, getting them involved in the whole process, selling them on who we are and what we are. I'd also say, just in addition to like the relationships, it's the compliance and it's the academic parts, like all of those things. I mean, they play a part, a big part that I didn't really know a whole lot about, but I'm excited about it now. I'm learning a lot about it. But yeah, is much different.
Yeah, it's changed a lot too here in the last 5 years, really, since you took the head coaching job. I think about how much it's changed since 2021, even. As you see college football kind of evolve and maybe where it's going, you guys have to always kind of be on your toes for what's coming next. And I know you're big, like you're going to do whatever they tell you can do in the current here and there. But what do you guys kind of have to be on your toes about, I guess, going forward as you project? Like, what do you guys want to make sure you're keeping in mind as you build rosters for the next few years going forward at Notre Dame?
Part of the reason that I was so intrigued with Mike was I see where college football is going, and it's going to probably simulate the NFL more than it ever has in terms of, having some type of salary cap for your roster, the importance of evaluations and all those different type of aspects that really replicate what the NFL does. But as Mike just mentioned, it's still college, and it's still a choice that young people have to make to choose to come to Notre Dame, whereas the NFL is a job, right? That is your job to play football for whatever team drafts you or you sign with. And so we can't get too far away from that and understanding that it's still about the total college experience for these young people. Although the football rosters and the makeup of, your football staff and your organization is kind of replicates the NFL.
Yeah.
The experience for the young people is still a college experience, and we can't forget that.
So how do you do that in your role to make sure that when people are coming to Notre Dame, they're getting the Notre Dame experience? And I know you're identifying people that want to have the Notre Dame experience because that's so important to building the culture that you guys have already built here. But at the same time, being competitive in, let's call it like evolving NFL style. Like how do you mix that from your standpoint?
Well, I think you mentioned like the big sell here is that, most of the guys that come in here, they want to be here. They know about Notre Dame. It's informing them more about Notre Dame.
Okay.
This isn't like transactional as Coach was talking about and mentioning. Like we want them to feel like this is where they belong, personally, academically, football wise. There are different things here. Like this place isn't for everyone.
Right.
Like it's a certain type of person that we're looking for. We're looking for leaders, that are going to help us develop other leaders. And so I think that's where it's sort of different. But I would just say like we're going to continue to look for that type of person. And I think we're going to build around that type of person. And, what do you say?
No, I totally agree. Is that, we have to show them why choosing this place as a football player is going to be one of the best decisions for your future. But there's so much more, as Mike just said, to this opportunity. You have to value education to say, you know what, I'm going to choose Notre Dame. Because a lot of what this university provides is delayed gratification, right? It's going to challenge you in a classroom. It's going to challenge you in many different ways. But if you can understand delayed gratification and what the rewards of that challenge is, that's when, to me, choosing this place is a no-brainer.
That made me just think about something else. So Myron Tagovailoa is back on staff, right? Were you here? When was his last year here? Did you?
It was my first year
as the DC or head? Okay, that's what I thought. So that's a great example, is like somebody is now getting paid off in a way with a professional opportunity here that might not have been obvious when they first came here, probably back, well before you were on the staff when he was a young prospective athlete. And so I think those are great examples that the current players can look at and say, hey, obviously I want to try to make it as far as I can in football, but look at this opportunity, right? He was in my shoes and now he's already got this great professional opportunity. How valuable is it to have someone like him back on staff in this particular role?
Well, I think there's so many values that he brings in. One, somebody that has done it, right? Somebody has wore the blue and gold, that has gone to class, that has come from far away to South Bend, Indiana, and really excelled to go to the NFL at the next level. But the other part I love it is that he's an example of what really college football is all about and what the NFL is about in terms of it's a not for long business, right? And it's I don't like saying this way, but it's a cheap labor business. If they can get your equivalent in terms of production for cheaper pay, they're going to do it. And so Myron's done what a lot of young people dream of: go and play big time college football, be a great college football player, get drafted and go to the NFL. But a lot of young people don't see that moment that the NFL stops. And for the reality of all of us, it stops. And so to show young people that he's an example of everything you want to be, but now he's utilizing this university, he's utilizing the relationships that he's made while he was here to now continue to move forward in life. I hope it really resonates with a lot of young people.
Okay, I heard you nodding along.
Yeah.
So I want you to follow up, but I just feel like your experience, obviously going through that as a college player and then your brief pro career, helps you talk to these guys. And I feel like your experience being in the NFL, working in that, when you said not for long, I could see you just lighting up and saying, I can tell these guys how it is, what it's like when we evaluate you, how we evaluate you, and give you some honest truths while you're here to prepare you for that real world experience, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yes. I do think having that experience, that expertise helps, like, to give them that real life expertise, as you mentioned. But I wanted to go back on Myron. Like, Myron has been a rock star since he's been here, like since he's come back. I didn't know much about Myron other than I evaluated him some as a football player. I thought he was a good little football player. But getting him back and getting him into the office, like right away, that leadership we talked about, that we look for in players, Myron has it, and he has it every day, like in our office, and it's been big. He's been kind of instrumental in what we're doing day to day, like on the recruiting front. And him being able to tell his story,
right?
And one thing we always talk about, like, not coming from Notre Dame, not being a Notre Dame grad, like I speak about what I've heard and what I'm seeing, but like he, to your point, Coach, he's really lived it. And so he tells them like, he's a real life example of like, all the intangibles that we're looking for, character wise. And it's awesome to point to him because we talk about like Notre Dame people, like what makes Notre Dame special is that they believe in football. They believe in what they're doing academically as a community. And if you notice, like half of the people that are around here walking around, they went to Notre Dame and they came back. Some, they might have gone off into the real world, other places, but they always kind of come back because of their love. I think that's what makes it magical. And Myron is another example of that, someone who wanted to get back.
I'm gonna tell Myron you called him a good little football player.
I evaluated a lot of things.
Good little football player. I evaluated that. He was a good little football player.
Hey, man, that's good right there. A good little. That's big in my book.
I got you.
It's funny. Myron wanted to get into coaching. Right. He was in coaching. Was a graduate assistant. And when we talked about the opportunity to come back here and said, "Hey, this is more in recruiting and personnel." Without hesitation, he said yes because he wanted to be back at Notre Dame, right? And what you've seen now over the month or however long he's been here, he loves what he's doing. He loves recruiting. He loves personnel, and he's thriving in that field.
So I was going to ask you about how you got into this because it's growing so much in college football, but it's been there for a while at the professional level. How did you know? Because you went to Vanderbilt, correct? How did you know this about 2 decades ago?
Yeah.
I make Coach.
Oh,
we feel old all the time. I know. I'm sorry.
2 decades ago.
I had to do it like that. I'm sorry. But how did you know? When did that go off and know that I want to go into this specific line of work? Because I think it takes, I don't know, like you said, Myron didn't know it right away. A lot of people that get into it, I don't think know it right away because you don't grow up, at least a lot of people don't grow up thinking, I want to get into the personnel side of sports. So how did you do that? And then how did you progress throughout your career?
Yeah, I would say 2 decades ago that even less people knew about the opportunities that existed in football outside of playing. Right. And so I had no clue. And I mean, in my mind, I was going to play football forever, like growing up and getting to college, and tried to work out, tried to get opportunities NFL wise, but I guess I fooled them as long as I could fool them. And so I knew like it was time for something else. And so I didn't really know that I wanted to get into it. I think that I didn't really seek the job. Job kind of sought me. It was funny. I tell a story about the Buccaneers calling while I was interviewing for another job out in Arizona, and they just randomly came across my name, and so it was sort of good fortune. It was God because there was no way I would have gotten the job otherwise. But yeah, I didn't know. And then I went there to interview and talked about some players, and then all of a sudden it sort of clicked. It's like, man, I've been doing this for a long time. Ever since I was in Little League, I mean, I remember looking like, I don't know if I want to go against that dude. He's big and fast and looks way stronger than me.
You were doing it without knowing you were doing it.
No doubt. Been evaluating for about as long as I can remember, and always just loved football. And so however I could stay around the game, that was something I wanted to do. And so when the opportunity presented itself, I took it, and it's just kind of gone from there.
Okay, now I'm just thinking, where were you in 2008 or 9 when he was coming out?
Houston. Now, he's going to say I probably cut him, and that's not true. Okay. That is not true. But no, I was in Houston. And, we building a good team there. We did a lot of good things, the Kubiak regime and Rick Smith. And, and so I was there and a part of that. And, this, young strapping bull came through, and, he was a really good player. And we followed him, all through his college career. We were glad to get him in when we were able to get him in. Yeah. And he did a really good job for us, really nice job.
We were doing the Pro Day broadcast a couple weeks ago, and we watched his combine film. And it was a pretty good film, I thought. It was pretty impressive. He, we put the numbers up there as the whole thing, and, you forget, he could play some football at a really high level. Yeah. I think these guys, have they seen the film? You never showed them the film, right?
Long time ago.
Long time.
That's ancient film, man.
Ancient film. Not quite 2 decades, but a decade and a half. Okay, so one more thing I had for you just about your job now. Because I'm fascinated by just how these roles are popping up in colleges, and it's not as, I don't know, it just feels so new to me compared to the pro level, where I'm sure everyone gets into the office and they kind of know what they're doing. So, how do you spend your time or your day-to-day? And I know it's still early, but all the different elements we've talked about, whether it's personnel evaluation, you just mentioned there's going to be a salary cap at some point you have to manage. there's a million things, recruiting, just where do you, as you try to kind of map out your day and priorities, like what are you prioritizing throughout the day when you get, to work?
Yeah. So I think it's valid what you brought up. I mean, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of moving parts, and every day looks different.
Okay.
I'll come in the morning, and I have one thing, like, man, I want to make sure I get through this, and I don't get that. There's no way. I get to it at like 8 p.m. at night, and but I think look, we're looking for good players, so I try to, as much as I can, make sure that I'm getting eyes on evaluating our 2026 guys or 2027s even, starting to kind of focus on those guys from an evaluation standpoint. As far as the 2026s, a large part of my day is, making sure we have a good communication plan with those guys, and so that we can, get guys to come visit and/or get them to say yes if we're already recruiting them, if they're already high on our board. But then, not getting away from the main thing, which is our own team, our current team, our current roster, making sure I'm familiar with those guys. I'm getting to know them, from a personal standpoint, but also, a football standpoint, and figuring out how, I can, from my position, help to architect this team that's going to help us, get to where we're going.
How much does it help you, Coach, to have someone like Mike and the staff that you're building so that you can really prioritize coaching? Because I feel like this has been a thing that head coaches, it can really consume you. You can see how much work he's doing. It has to be super helpful to have him and his staff kind of doing what they're doing for you.
Yeah, I think when every hire you make, you want to hire somebody that you are confident that they're going to be the best at what you're asking them to do. And I feel very confident that's what Mike's doing. He's doing a wonderful job, which, again, allows me, I think, similar to what he described as a head coach, you got to wear whatever hat that's necessary at that moment. If that means I need to be in a meeting with Mike and we need to talk personnel or recruiting, then I'm going to do that. Or if I have to deal with communications or deal with football coaching. And I mean, it's really making sure that you wear the hat that is necessary for that moment in time. But I've been overly pleased with the job that Mike has done in terms of, more than anything, it's his leadership, his ability to get individuals to work together as a team. And that takes a special person to be selfless, but also demanding and very clear on the expectations to get multiple individuals to all work together for one common cause. And so I've been very pleased, and we're going to do some great things, especially in our personnel department.
Okay, last question before I let you guys go, just related to kind of blue gold, and let's just call it 2025. So I've been kind of personally holding on to 2024 a lot because it was so fun. Got to the national championship game, and then pro day hit, and I was like, okay, these are guys that were a part of that run, and they're gone. I tried to turn the page. I'm still struggling, but I want to just know you guys have been in spring ball here. We're going to get a chance to see guys on the field here this upcoming week. Just what excites you about the 2025 group? And I know it's going to evolve throughout this spring, and then in the fall it'll take shape. But just as you've gotten to look at them here early for both you guys, just what excites you about this group going into next year?
Well, I think you have some guys that are returning that have played a lot of football for us. But then in the spring, you have a lot of young guys that haven't played a lot of ball for Notre Dame that are really getting the opportunity to develop and improve and earn trust from the coaches. And that's what I've seen more than anything, is that we've had some returning starters that are out, some guys that were not practicing very much. And so you're seeing a lot of young people or inexperienced guys really get valuable reps. And what they're doing is they're earning trust with the coaches. And so, and their teammates. So I think it's been really pleasing to see. You talk about the foundation and really the core of the group. We know there's some pieces that aren't practicing right now that are not going to play in the spring game that they've shown they're going to be guys that contribute for this football team. But I've been really pleased with just seeing the youth and inexperienced guys really develop and build that trust. And so you get that at the end of spring, and then you come back for the summer and you start your strength conditioning and a little bit of football work. And then when you get in the fall, now you got the entire team together, right? And now you really kind of piece together your identity in terms of what type of football team you're going to be going to the season.
What about you, Mike? I know you're new, but I know you've seen these guys. Just what sticks out in your eyes?
Well, I think we have a team that's not satisfied, right? I came in, and I think I was more than anyone talking about, man, had a great season and went all the way to the national championship. And I realized quickly, like, that page had been turned, and coach, the entire coaching staff, the players, like, Coach preaches reaching your full potential. And I think we got a team that realizes that, they know they haven't reached it yet, and so what's excited me about, this new class, the 2025 team in general, is that, you see a bunch of hungry, fiery people that aren't content, and they're just working every day to get better. And it's been impressive. And we spoke to the injuries. There's been some guys that haven't been able to participate, but seeing the young guys just sort of step right in and fill right in and start to, again, take those valuable snaps and reps and try to, get as much time as they can. And, I just think it's going to be awesome. It's a huge benefit for the entire team.
Yeah, to follow up kind of what he said is, right now in the spring, your roles, it doesn't matter what your role is, right? As you get in the fall and you get ready for a game, roles will be determined. But right now you have 100 guys just trying to get better, trying to reach their full potential. And that's kind of like what the spring is for, is how do we improve every single person as an individual, which ultimately is going to make us better as a team. And then you take that talent into the fall and start saying, okay, where you're at in terms of reach your full potential, this is the role for this week that we're going to need from you. And so it's just a really fun time right now watching everybody truly chase just improving.
Yeah, I know that spring game, I think, is always really fun. Blue Gold, presented by Meyer, is always one of the best. I got him at the end of the year. One of the best times of the year because you can see the future in real time. Like, I go back to Steve's touchdown to win the game, and, like, he played such a huge role in the Orange Bowl. He's obviously playing a huge role throughout the spring and with this team, and you can see that early on. And like you said, I'm excited to see the young guys who maybe they'll have a role this year. Maybe their more pronounced role will be 26, 27, but that's why Blue Gold, presented by Meyer, is always such a great time of year.
Presented by Meyer.
Yeah, you got
Meyer. No doubt.
We're all in on the act. Coach, thanks all year for coming by. Mike, great to meet you. It sounds like you guys have effectively turned the page on 2024.
We did a long time ago.
I know you did. I know you did. I'm like holding on, but at the spring game, I will turn the page and get excited for 2025, and we'll talk to you next fall.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll take a break and be right back. All right. It's our final football episode of the year. Isaiah Dunn, you're back. It's great to see you.
It's an honor, as usual.
Who did you bring along with us this week?
Leonard Moore.
Lenny. Do you go by Lenny?
Some people call me Lenny. It really don't matter.
Okay, I'll call you Leonard. I don't think I've earned that yet. But I think it doesn't matter.
Do what you want to do.
I was hoping you'd say, like, by the end of this segment, we could get close enough that
You're already
I call
here.
you Lenny. But
You already passed
Right
it.
here, man.
all right, so we're already there. We already crossed that threshold. That's big.
Love that.
Okay, we have a lot to cover here.
Mhm.
This is our Spinning Our Wheels segment, presented by TireRack.com. You see the wheel? Yeah. You get to spin it.
Okay.
Let's see what game we're going
Give
to
it
play.
a spin. Like a. What was that?
Oh, he had it too. Dang.
Try
Try it
to do
again.
it again.
Try it again. Yeah, that was false. Sweet. Oh, yeah. It's really spinning. Give me one more spin. We've never finished a quote a day in our lives on this show.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah, you just got to keep going. You're doing great. This is part of the
Keep
game.
going. Oh,
Set this.
see, so technically, if you just roll ahead one more,
Yeah.
boom,
Nice.
know your teammate. All right.
Y'all forcing me.
Yeah, that's
this
the one.
is a little played out now.
Okay.
Next year, I'm going to do this. We will have enough options so we don't have to just force the game. But
Force it.
shout out to Tyrack. The wheel's pretty cool, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 6 things here. Okay, actually, forgot. In the locker, we've got the whiteboards. I forgot we do the whiteboards. So this is always tougher, I think, with football.
brother.
I think Leonard's got to get it. Lenny, yep, get in there.
I'll fall.
You're good.
Is he one?
Two. I
Yeah.
don't know him either.
So you guys are going to keep these to yourselves, and then you'll reveal.
Thank you.
And the problem, I've done this with basketball a couple times, and they have like a 12-person roster, right? So they actually they agree a lot.
Oh,
You guys have a lot.
we're supposed to have the same.
So I'm going to give you something. No, you don't have to have the same answer, but
List.
we see a lot. The odds of getting the same one, are very
Um,
slim.
I'm putting a name on here.
You're putting a name on here. I'm going to give you a prompt.
I know a name.
You're going to keep it secret. I'm making a rule though. This is last year's team, 2024.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
I know.
No
and
new.
Like
no
the team we just.
it can be guys on this team, but no new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because I'm still holding on. This is the final show. I'm letting go of
Right.
2024 after this show.
Okay.
Okay. We're moving forward. Blue Gold
Okay.
game. Okay. Presented by Meyer. Okay. Most likely to on the team to tell a dad joke. Players only.
Dad joke.
There is a shot clock.
Okay.
Players only.
Let me.
You guys are both frozen here.
This is
So it's
hard.
like
We have some funny guys.
You know,
Dad joke.
dad joke is a specific kind of joke.
It is specific.
It doesn't always hit,
Um,
but sometimes it does.
hmm.
Um,
All right, you got to write something down.
Okay.
I write a group.
Just. What do you mean by a group?
Oh, like a position group?
Position group.
I agree with that.
Okay, fine.
Hey.
Do it for this. Do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you.
Position group.
Because this is.
Oh, I'm going to guess in my head. I'm not going to look. I'm going to guess what position group.
I have
in my
mine.
head.
I have mine.
I'm not looking. Okay.
This might go together.
You guys are going to reveal, and I'm going to guess what you said. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Offensive line.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
QBs.
You said QBs.
QB.
Go together. Yeah.
Okay, so why'd
Like
you
Steve.
CJ.
CJ, Steve, I was kind of
But
giving.
I would know line.
Yeah.
why'd you go O-line?
Billy.
Billy.
Okay.
I was thinking a few guys. That was going to be my second.
Interesting.
But-
Offense, though.
Offense.
Offense. of
Yeah.
course.
Defense too serious.
We're two.
Not really cornballs.
We're not, yeah.
Just
Our jokes.
takeaways in business only. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. This is an interesting one. I don't know how you'd know this. It's all chance.
Okay.
Most likely to win the lottery. Like, by definition, this is random and lucky. So it's, yeah. There are no wrong answers, I suppose.
Right.
You've already got yours.
Yeah.
Leonard's waiting. I guess you're just saying who's the luckiest guy on the team.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, Isaiah, you were fast.
Yeah.
It almost feels like maybe you resent this person for how lucky they
I
are.
hope not.
This is just difficult for some reason. I don't know. Let me.
Who's
No
just
wrong
lucky,
answers.
man. Like you're like, wow, you're pretty lucky. You know?
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Zay.
I put myself.
I put Gerby.
Gerby Lambert.
He deserves it.
I like
deserves it.
Yeah.
Why does he deserve
That's a
it?
great wholesome
You know,
pick.
yeah, he's a good guy.
So he's just put the karma out into the world.
Yeah, I think like, if anybody's winning the lottery, it's got to be him.
Okay.
That was really wholesome.
That makes you feel, you should feel bad about
Well, you said, do I resent this person? And I said, I hope not.
when you look
It's,
in the
it's
mirror.
myself.
It's
But no, I just feel like I'm a pretty lucky person. You know, I'm at Notre Dame. I'm on this podcast.
Some would say you've already won the lottery
I've already won it.
Wow.
by being on this show
Yeah, too wholesome.
with Leonard right here.
Yeah.
Y'all are funny.
Yeah. We've developed a nice rapport over the
Yeah.
10 weeks. Yeah. Okay. Number 3. Okay. Most likely to join a musical band or group.
I have 2 answers. I'm sorry. I'm cheating. But
I'll accept almost any answer here, guys.
okay.
Okay.
I'm looking for somebody who's like musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't be humble.
No, not me. Don't do me.
Okay. I got PK. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
I have Vern if it's rock.
That's a good pull.
Vern, you know, he plays the guitar.
Okay.
Solid pull.
That's a great
Lenny,
Thank you.
this brother can sing. He's not going to talk
I'm
about
not
it.
gonna sing on here.
In the locker room, he can sing. I mean, like, I'm not
That's
even.
why.
I'm saying
Okay.
legit.
Real quick. Okay. So you said Bryce. Yeah.
That's why I said Bryce Young.
Okay.
He's a great singer, and he do some instrument stuff. He literally has his own studio.
We talked to his
Just think
dad
about that.
on this episode.
About
Brian.
singing.
Oh, that's pretty.
No, I wish. Spoiler alert. I know they're probably gonna edit it. I don't know how they edit it. I
Yeah.
think it's after. We're talking to him later in the show.
Yeah.
But I talked to him just before you guys got here, and I wish I saw this because I'd ask him all about that.
Yeah, he's actually a very good singer. Or I pick either him, Kingston, or Swerve, was Carson Hobbs.
Okay,
Sort
that's
of.
good to know. And you won't just give us a quick 4 bars right here.
It depends on the song. Actually, I probably would not.
Okay,
He's good though. Just know.
okay. We'll get it out of you by the end of your career.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, all right. That's good to know. All right. Oh, this is an interesting one. Oh boy. Most likely to die first in a scary movie. Again, Isaiah, just right away. No hesitation.
This is difficult.
No, this is easy. This is
Somebody
the easiest
we both-
question
is this somebody
ever.
we both know?
Yes.
We're both close with?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys are on the same team, right?
Yeah.
I hope you know.
This is easy for me.
All right, ready? When you do it, show it out.
Oh,
to
no,
the camera. 3, 2,
hear you.
1. Go ahead.
I would take Brian.
I put Tay Tay.
I was thinking Tay Ron or Gerby. Gerb's too big, can't really run.
Dang.
Tay Ron.
I think Tay Tay's gonna want to fight the monster and realize he can't.
I want to go back to Gerby here. You're going to have him win the lottery and then die? Just like that? That'd be so...
That's
Man, I
that's
don't
a
know,
rough
man.
turn of events.
It is a rough turn of events, but
But
I don't
you know
think
what?
he's
He did
very
have
good.
his moment before he
Yeah,
died.
come
Nice send off.
It's not his strength in horror movie.
Yeah.
I still have him. If it was like a zombie apocalypse, I
Doesn't have
still,
to run. He
That's
just
a
gotta
good pick,
protect the
too.
quarterback.
I
He's
still,
good.
yeah, I still have him there just to like protect us and stuff.
All right, 2 more here.
Okay.
I'm liking how this is going. Most likely to win a reality TV competition. You guys are both quick here, and you can't say Gerby.
Of course,
That's fine.
Winning, he's won too much already. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Carson.
Hobbs.
Carson Hobbs. Now, why is that? You guys
He-
both said him right away.
Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
The football wasn't his thing. That's where he would
That's
be.
what he'd be. You know, he'd be on Love Island.
He'd be on Love Island. He'd be on Perfect Match. He would love every second.
Dang. Okay, so I said reality TV competition. I'm thinking like Survivor, Amazing Race.
No, that's not
dating. But you're talking about dating competition.
Oh, we're talking about
Just
dating.
reality.
We're talking
So Love
about
Island. You think?
Bachelor, any of
Bachelor.
So let's just get him on Love Island.
Yeah.
Like when he's done.
No.
What,
those.
That's
Love,
probably
you know,
something.
the sun's out, he's out.
Yeah.
It's like every guy here.
interesting.
Swervo.
It's early days.
Swerve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carson Hobbs.
He's
Man.
ready for that.
All right.
Yeah, no.
You know, Love Island USA, I believe, is a Peacock product. We have connections at Peacock, right?
He would honestly.
Carson
I
Hobbs.
promise
Can we just get? It's off
He would do
season.
it.
It's in the summer.
He would
I
do
bet
it.
you could get Carson Hobbs. I mean, but Peacock doesn't Peacock. Well, I think it's maybe
yeah.
it's Paramount. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Peacock is involved. Peacock is involved.
Okay.
Our good friends at Peacock. We can make some calls. Carson Hobbs
Carson Hobbs. Great one.
could be the next guy in the villa. All right.
Not Survivor, though. This skip.
Survivor, that's me.
Yeah, that's probably Lenny.
All right. Conniving. All right. Last one. Most likely, this is a hot topic. I know
Okay.
to win a ping pong match.
So ping pong player of the year.
Yeah.
This is
Do
different.
you guys keep stats and
I mean,
records in there? Is that
that's
for a
one
lot?
census pick.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Jabron.
Javon Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that's partially because does the injury help you play a little bit more?
He lived on the ping pong
He
team.
This
lives,
past
Yeah.
and he's phenomenal now. I used to beat him pretty easily, and now he whoops me. It was CJ. CJ Carr was the
CJ's
champ.
a close second, right?
The close second.
Ooh.
Faison is up
the
there.
better of CJ too many times. So
So where do you rank?
I would say I'm
Top 5?
number 6. The only 5 people I would put it. No, I might. The only 4. I might be number 5. I might be top 5. I'm better than you, Zay.
No.
The only people I put ahead of
No,
me
that's
is
just not true.
G, CJ, Faison, and Jack Larson. I think I'm.
Those are all good picks.
All good
I'm
picks.
coming.
You forgot.
So Faison,
but-
Faison's good at football,
He's good at
lacrosse,
everything.
and ping pong.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Faison.
Dang. Triple threat.
Yeah, Faison's really good.
One of these days, I get you over here for the show all the time. Why don't you get me some Goog access,
Okay.
get some ping pong? I'm just telling you right now, I used to work a customer service job on the phone early in my days.
Sure.
All we did was play ping pong.
Play ping
Oh, so you're
I'm a little
legit.
rusty, 10 years out of the game, but I think it would come back.
Okay.
Give me a chance at Jabron
Okay.
Payne.
If you won those games.
Well, I don't know if you want to start with G.
Okay, I'll start with you.
No. Start with Lenny.
The only points you get off G are him hitting the net. That's
Yeah, he's pretty good. Like he's very good. When I say good, like we're talking.
I at least want to get. I'm putting spin on it.
No, like
he's a
all
different
right.
type.
We'll see. We'll have to get this going.
All
And
right.
we'll see how the
All right.
film.
All right.
Don't lie.
Okay, that was excellent. That was one of our best games of the year. Good way to end.
It was.
Top 5 game of the year. Good job. Yeah.
I like it.
Why don't you guys put those back in the locker,
Sounds good.
and then we're gonna go on to our
Got me. Yeah. Got it.
our next game, which is really I think been it's been getting better and better
Yeah.
every every week. Done in a minute. Doesn't have a
Oh,
sponsor
is this
yet.
the one? That-
This is the one.
This is the
all right?
one.
So all I do for this, it's just the two of you. You're kind of working as a team, and I gave some constructive feedback last time.
Yep.
You guys have got to be a team on this. He can help you out better than he helped out his last guy.
Right.
But I'm gonna keep time. The goal here is to answer these questions in a minute, but we need good answers,
Okay.
quick answers,
Okay.
and just work with him. And when you start, how many questions? Is it 20?
20 questions. It used to be
Wait
25,
a minute.
but that was just
Yeah. So we're looking basically. You got 3 seconds for each answer if you want to hit this. I will time this. I will start timing once you complete your first question. Is what I've established.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Love that.
And you finish no matter what. We'll get the official time.
Yep.
Okay.
You ready?
Whenever you're ready.
You good? Give me a thumbs up.
I'm straight.
Okay. Is water wet?
No.
Who's winning men's March Madness?
Houston.
Heat LeBron or Lakers LeBron?
Heat LeBron.
Who's winning the most underrated? Who is the most underrated NFL corner of all time?
Denzel Ward.
Who wins in a race in their prime, Coach Mike Brown or Coach Mike Mickens?
Mickens is killing him.
Best hooper on the team.
Michael Gilbert.
Name the most overrated fast food spot.
Taco Bell.
Which sport has the best athletes?
Football.
If each position group created a 4x4 100-meter track.
Corners.
Okay. Wings or burgers?
Burgers.
Would you rather get dunked on or mossed?
I'm going to have to take the dunk on.
Okay. One app has to go. Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube?
Instagram, TikTok.
10.
NCAA video game
YouTube.
prediction rating next year.
88.
Start, bench, cut. Jamar Chase, Jay Jettis, Prime Odell.
Prime Odell, Jay Jettis, Jamar Chase.
Okay. Favorite childhood TV show?
If we're going child. Jesse.
Okay. Best hair on the team.
Zay Dunn.
Thank you, bro. Favorite day of the week?
I'm going to say Friday.
If you bought a dog right now, what would you name him or her?
Zay.
What is your childhood nickname?
Lil Wayne.
What was the first question I asked?
I got you. Is water wet?
Bingo.
Thank you, bro.
1:37.
That's bad. That's one of the worst times.
You know what? I like the answers.
Thank you.
The
You gave
time.
the best answers.
You know
I
what? I'm
think,
going to
overall.
some more feedback to my guy Isaiah here after all that. So last time he asked about conspiracy theories.
I'll try to help him out.
What type
Yeah.
of question?
This time you asked him what was it? Bench cut.
Yeah. Start, bench, cut. Hey.
That's why I don't think water's wet, because water makes things wet.
Okay. This was a hot topic of
Yeah,
the
this is
team.
like the hot
That's why I asked
sandwich
that.
of our days.
Water technically.
Do you think water's wet?
Because each individual, if you going H2O, it's just a molecule of water.
It's
Right.
just hydrogen bonded with oxygen.
Yeah.
You're bringing too much science to
I feel
the
like
show.
glue
man.
exists.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
It was like the rain one.
I think
You
water,
can't drink rain.
talking rain.
Great.
I think water is wet.
You think so?
That's what I'm going with.
Why?
It feels wet.
Respect.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I see where you're.
There were a couple other ones in there. Bring them up again.
Oh yeah, of course. Your dog name Zay.
Real quick.
Thanks.
Moss or dunked on. So did you play basketball?
Yeah, I play basketball.
What position?
Like 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm. You shoot it? Space it a little bit or no?
I would say I was more of a,
Don't say it.
perimeter lockdown.
Okay.
No, Lenny can do it all.
I can shoot if I'm feeling good, but I'm not gonna say I'm a.
It comes and goes is what you're saying.
Comes and goes.
That's all I do.
Streaky.
I just
That's right. That's right. You stay on the floor with your defense.
Zay's not scoring on me.
Yeah, that's just not true.
Okay. What else was there? There were a couple other good ones.
NCAA rating.
Rating. So you only had yourself at 88.
Yeah.
Humble guy.
I had you higher.
You did. What'd you have?
I kind
I
of
did
had you
too.
pegged as a 92.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think
You know me. 99.
I don't think they'll give me that high, right?
You should be a 99.
Are you guys play? You guys are. I've got my dynasty going right now.
Oh, you had Dynasty. What
Yeah.
team?
Ole Miss, where I'm at right now.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
You got to mix it up. You
I
can't
went
just-
Wyoming, Miami. See ya.
Okay.
Ole Miss. I got the title game and lost last year.
Mm.
It's tough.
That's rough.
What
It's growth,
difference
though.
you playing on?
What level?
Yeah, Heisman?
Heisman.
Okay.
Heisman.
Legit.
Yeah.
Oh.
What? There was one other one in there. Oh, Heat.
Heat LeBron.
Lakers LeBron.
Oh yeah, LeBron on a different.
How
Okay,
old were you?
LeBron,
Heat LeBron.
He loves LeBron, by the way.
LeBron, the biggest LeBron fan you ever meet.
You're right.
I'll say LeBron was like what 7, 8, 9.
Well, it's a perfect age for you.
Yeah, for sure. But
Cavs LeBron first, though, right?
if it depends on
which
what
Cavs?
phase.
Right. There are two
second
phases.
phase,
Second
Cavs.
phase.
I'm taking 2018 Bron over any
Okay.
Bron.
All right. That's the right.
50 in game one. If
Yeah.
not for J.R. Smith,
That's what I'm
the
saying.
series goes different.
That's the best athlete ever witnessed. Best like when LeBron retires, I don't think I'll be able to watch TV anymore.
You know what? So let's do this. So I'm a huge JJ Redick fan.
Okay.
I'll keep it like I followed all of his games.
Yeah,
The second he retired, I had a tough time watching the
that's
NBA.
interesting.
Really?
And now he's coaching your guy. He's coaching your guy, Bron.
Yeah.
Now you're
So
back into it.
I can't. I'm not gonna watch the guy in a jumpsuit on the sideline as closely, but it's tough to get back in. I'm kind of with you.
Mhm.
Like when LeBron's gone, there's gonna
It'll be
be
tough.
it's gonna lack.
It
But
is
I want
tough.
to your point. You said Cavs LeBron, 07 LeBron is actually
Really.
unbelievable. I mean,
He was
the
really good.
Spurs team was really good, but like if you watch, we did to the Pistons in that Eastern
Yeah,
Conference
I
knockout.
respect that.
Yeah,
He carried a team that was really had nobody else on it other than him to the finals.
Right.
Yeah. Who's
Young LeBron too.
Who's like Boobie Gibson's on that team?
Yeah, no clue.
Elgauskas.
Yeah, Ilgauskas, is he?
Delonte. No, Delonte was later maybe. I don't
Sure,
know.
I don't even know the players.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
That's kind of the point.
Larry Hughes maybe on
Right.
that team.
Probably.
But I think they have a good chance of making it to the finals this year.
Yeah, I like LeBron right now.
Yeah.
So now you're like a Lakers fan. So you just follow LeBron.
I'm a big LeBron. I still Cavs. My dad's from Cleveland, so that's where I got the Cavs from.
Oh, well, you got a good year coming.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, who are you rooting for if it's Cavs Lakers in the finals?
It's not
Take a guess.
going to be the
LeBron.
Celtics.
Yes.
Wow.
The
So
Celtics.
you love LeBron.
The Celtics.
The Celtics are going to make it and go back to back. But I don't
love
want
LeBron.
You know.
All right.
My Wi-Fi at home is named LeBron.
Yeah. Hey, my Wi-Fi home is WatchND,
Okay.
which used to be the name
Okay.
of the Notre Dame YouTube channel. Too,
Right.
where we are. All right. Well, that was great. I liked the games. Excellent work, Lenny. I feel like we're on Lenny basis
Yeah.
after this conversation. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. Okay.
Say less.
All right. Okay. Excellent first segment. It's now time for our next segment, which is our Cooler Conversations segment. It's presented by Yeti. Before I get to you, Isaiah, I want to point out to you, Lenny, we'll have you sign this on your way out if you're cool with that. You see a lot of heavy hitters on this.
Lots of you.
This is being auctioned off soon. FightingIrish.com/wakeup starting on April 15th. It's going to go to local charity. We'll figure all that out, but it's like going to be so cool to have this personalized Yeti, good auction off, and the proceeds will go to a great cause.
It's
So,
a good cause.
and imagine how much you think it doubles or triples when he signs this value.
Quadruple.
Wait, you mean when Zay signs it, right?
That's already signed.
It's already signed.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. So you're going to bring it back up.
Yeah.
'Cause when he signed it, it went down.
Yeah.
Now, I always go in here. I've been saying that. I've been talking this up. This is the final football show of the year. You already got your Coke products. Your water is good.
Water.
I'm going Coke Diesel.
Okay.
Regular Coke.
Diesel. I didn't know that was
I didn't know.
Isn't that what they call it?
Diesel.
Never heard of that.
Diesel.
That's new.
All right. Sorry.
I like it though.
I'm going to have a regular Coke, sit back and listen to you. I'll chime in if necessary, but you just let him. He's going to do his thing on that
Yeah.
side.
So starting off, my first question: you didn't get your first start, I believe, until week 5 against Louisville, and you absolutely played your heart out like you always do. But what have you done to stay ready behind a guy like Benjamin Morrison? Obviously, he's a great leader as well.
Indeed.
But you stayed prepared, you stayed ready, you stayed locked in, which is a lot harder to do when you don't necessarily know when your time's coming.
That's facts. Definitely, yeah. I definitely didn't come in expecting to play like you behind the All-American. Like, shoot, I thought I wasn't gonna play the whole year. Maybe I drive here and there, but the way I stayed locked in, I guess I came in level-headed. Like I didn't come in like thinking I was better than nobody, stuff like that. So I just took care of my business, and then I guess Amir always told me be prepared and ready for the opportunity when it came. Just plug Amir a little bit.
Shout out to Amir.
Amir Carlisle,
Yeah.
Amir Carlisle.
former guest on this show, great guy.
Indeed, yeah. So I've always been like that. So like I guess when the moment came, it wasn't too big. It wasn't like I was ready.
What did it feel like? 'Cause Louisville game, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a big game. That was
Big game.
big time game. You don't win that game, you don't end up where you are at the end of the year.
for sure.
What was it like when that game was coming up? Because that was intense in that building that day.
Right.
I think it was kind of crazy because like I think it was maybe the Monday, but of the game week when I found out BMO had to get like surgery, like he was out for the season. So
Right.
that was crazy. I'm like, wow. And J Mick gone out of there. Chance I already heard. It was like it's really just I'm the only one left.
Right.
I have to step up.
You better
That's
step
like-
up.
Yeah, but like it's also like I was also sad for Ben. Like it's like
Yeah.
I was praying for him, of course. You never want to see that happen. And but that was an excellent opportunity for me. That's I guess why I put that upon myself just to make the most of the opportunity because not many people get that opportunity.
What was going through? Well, let me start with this. What was going through your head when you saw him coming from behind to make that punch out on that? Because their quarterback, he took that for 50 yards. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? And then that was a heck of a play. What was going through your head?
Yeah,
watching
and
that?
it was an incredible play. I mean, we still watch that on Teach Tape, and it'll be on Teach Tape for a while. But at the same time, even though we were all very excited, no one was surprised because we've seen Lenny play in game, not in game, but in practice, and how well he does and how much effort he puts in. I think earlier in the season, Benjamin Morrison put out a quote talking highly of Leonard. I don't know if you remember the quote.
Definitely did.
What was the quote? Do you remember it?
He's gonna be better than me or something.
Yeah, like
But I mean,
BMO.
I think he does.
He didn't say that about No, he didn't say that about everybody. He put that out about you though.
I'll take it.
He's a humble guy.
Trying to be humble.
But that's going to be on Teach Day for a while. It's an
Yeah.
incredible play.
Yeah.
But we also have high expectations for this guy.
Okay. Yeah, football is one of those sports where it's like the sport where you're not going to be surprised on game day if you're on the team, right? Because you guys practice so much
Right.
more than another sport where like baseball or basketball,
Mhm.
you're playing so many games, it might just show up in some game, but like you have to do it in practice to get that opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, like you saw that coming a little bit, right?
Weekly,
Yeah.
you see him
And
put in work.
Jay's talking highly of me with this dude. If y'all seen this dude in practice, I think this dude broke the record for the most interceptions in a fall camp.
He's a nice guy.
Most picks in fall camp.
I got a few.
About
See if we can get a
7, 8.
banner for that.
I appreciate it, man. But this kind of goes into my next question of just who you are as a person. He's calm, cool, and collected. He's always been that way no matter what the scenario. We got the chance to go to a national championship. He had the same energy from that game, from the Louisville game. Like it's Leonard. It's what he is. He's cool, calm, and collected. You don't get too high. You don't get too low. What has been your foundation for that?
I think obviously God, number one.
Right.
Like my mom used to always tell me before games, like I'm not playing for nobody but God. Like I'm not, when you play for other people other than God, like say the fans, even teammates, obviously I'm playing for my teammates, but just like people that don't matter, I guess, that makes the game bigger than what it is, I feel like. So when I just do that, I don't know. I'm able to take a deep breath. I'm able to just I'm just out here playing football at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to please nobody but God. So
You ever hear, you guys have been talking about Ben a lot. When I talked to him maybe 2 years ago before the spring game, he's talking about audience of one. He ever talked to you about that?
oh yeah.
Playing for God, audience of one.
Never
What's his
did.
thing?
But Ben was a huge played a huge role in my success.
Yeah.
Like even just being my roommate every night before the games, like I don't know, we always talk. So that was good.
Yeah. Eliminates the distractions, too, of what you talked about. I love that.
Real quick before you ask me next question. So like you played in the national championship game. I know we're moving on to next year. I talked to Coach Freeman today. We're on to 2025.
Right.
I get that. But do you ever like take a second and just think like how incredible it was? We talked about this last time. Like you played in the national championship
Yeah.
game. Like not many people can say that, whenever their time is done playing. Like what comes to mind when you just think about what you guys did this past year?
100%. Like I'm setting the bar higher for these next weeks, but it's just like I don't know. It makes me like think how I guess blessed I was to have that opportunity in my freshman year.
Yeah.
Of all years, like I didn't have to wait 4 years. Like it came up kind of fast. But and what did you say the second part of your question?
Just how incredible it was. Like you got to play in the biggest stage. Like hopefully it happens again. But some people they'll never even come close to that in their college football career, and you did it. Just seems like for all you guys, you should take some time to just think about how neat that was.
Yeah, I think we definitely did.
Okay.
Obviously, now we back in the cycle. Freedom got us back working.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But I feel like it was definitely crazy, but it's weird. Like when you walked in the national championship, I don't know if it's the same for Zay, but it didn't feel necessarily different than any other game we play.
Yeah, you're so locked in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is when I talk to guys that have played in it, it's like you almost can't in the moment build it up to be more than it is, or you won't be able to perform, right? So I'm always wondering, like, when will you guys? Maybe it might be when you're just done playing, like way down the road, you'll look back, man, that was unbelievable, because it's just, I don't know, man. Like I still kind of, I can't believe we're all national championship
pinching ourselves,
so cool.
yeah,
100%,
yeah,
for sure.
All right.
Leading into that, what has been the greatest lesson this season has taught you?
This season, I get a second to think.
Of course, you get as many seconds as you want.
I feel like not like a huge like this deep like specific lesson, but I feel like overall as a whole like this season taught me like I guess like you need to cherish your opportunity and like make the most out of every opportunity you have, because like even there's parallels like you never know when, like we had a lot of injuries this year. You never know when you'll have to step up, but you also never know when you'll get injured. Or when your time is up playing. So I feel like it has made me know, like, even in this future, the next however many years I'm here or playing football in general, like, I always make the most of each opportunity. I always, when I walk into the city every day, know it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah.
Blessing to be at this school or surrounded by these people. Like, I'll never get those opportunities back. So I always come in with a good mindset and positive.
The people that seem to appreciate it the most are the people that have been injured and have missed time.
Right.
And it's unfortunate it takes that a lot of time, but it's good you have that in your head forefront. Like, don't take it for granted, because you don't know when something bad could happen, or like you see your teammates, they can't be out there. It's like, It's got to be tough.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is going to go into the last question. It's going to be a little bit more of a fun one
that
we have going on. So If the DB room, which we kind of already answered, but it's a little
4x100.
it's a little bit longer of an answer. If the DB room was a reality TV show, the whole room, okay, who would be the main character?
Okay. Ooh.
Who would be the guy that everybody loves?
Mm-hmm.
And who would be the guy that brings all the chaos?
I actually love this question.
3 people.
Main character, Mike Mickens, by far.
Can we?
A lot of people-
Mickens' main character.
A lot of people would say Carson.
I hear you, but I understand where you're going with this.
I think it's like it's 1A, 1B with them. Because Coach Mickens, like he provides maybe the same amount of laughter as Carson. He's a character.
He is a character.
Like everything he does, like his
mannerisms.
his mannerisms. Like, I will literally die laughing. Like, I don't know. It'll be in a meeting. Don't tell him this.
Yeah.
Pretend he doesn't see this. But like he'll say something maybe regardless, like on serious. Obviously, I know times when you can't laugh or not.
Okay.
But he's always making us laugh there. But 1B, Carson Hobbs, that is a different type of character. They're both one of one, so
Right.
one of them.
All right, put that on the list
So that's the main character.
for people to bring in next year to interview.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the other 2?
What's the second one?
The chaos.
Everybody loves.
Everybody loves
I'll
and
say
chaos.
everybody loves with the chaos.
Okay.
Everybody loves Isaiah Dunn.
Bro, he's just really hyping me up today.
No,
I'm not-
it's very high approval
sweet.
rating. I can tell.
Yeah,
People gravitate towards him. Very good energy.
good energy. Like he don't complain about nothing much. Like he always
Grateful.
Yeah, of course.
I think you could put yourself there.
I think people would say me too. They like me.
Yeah.
I'm like a likable guy.
Too likable.
I like everybody though. So like,
Yeah.
sorry. But if I had to pick one, I'm pick everybody.
So wait, are you putting Carson as the chaos, or are you putting?
I was gonna put. Carson can go chaos or main character.
Okay.
Other chaos is Tay
Tay.
Johnson. Yeah,
Another one.
Tay and Carson come with the chaos.
So next year on Here Come the Irish, maybe just an episode dedicated to the DB
Oh,
yeah.
please.
reality TV
We
show,
need that.
Please.
DB room.
Please.
Just a day with Coach Mick.
We might even
Oh.
do some fall camp action. That would be funny.
Okay. It's good. We're storyboard. We're doing their job for them. We're getting
Right.
episode ideas.
Like, we might be probably the most interesting group in there.
No doubt.
And-
Okay.
on the
This
team.
kind of goes. I want to add a question, actually. if
You know what?
that's
It's your last
possible.
show.
Thank you.
Fire away.
I appreciate it. This goes along with the DB room. I feel like we've all gelled together so well and gotten so close since you guys first got here.
It wasn't like that before.
No, it's always been like that. But when you guys think about when you first got here,
Yeah.
right, and then to now,
Oh yeah.
how's that experience been for you? Like with getting to know all the guys, and now look at all of our relationships. Like everyone's truly.
I know it. Harry was truly brother. He's love at the end of the day.
It's
Like obviously having a long season, like all these shared experiences helps because that's how you build the relationships at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But just the way, I don't know, we all love each other. Like even the new guys, everybody who come in, it's like instant. Like Ethan Long, Jay Don,
Right.
Creed, like they come in maybe a week of them being shy and stuff. And a week later, we got them. I don't know.
Yeah, they get out of their show
They
for
get
They're
sure.
watching the game tonight.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. They'll be all
People are
watching.
coming over watching the game
I'll be.
tonight.
Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. Well, hey, Lenny,
Yes,
we're on Lenny basis.
on Lenny basis.
All right. Thanks for coming by. Excellent segment to end the year on.
Right.
Isaiah, awesome job. 10 for 10. 10
Thank
out
you.
of 10 for you.
I appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
been my honor. It's been a privilege to be on the show. I absolutely had a blast with people like Lenny.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to you guys.
Thank you. You bring great energy to this segment, and we had some great conversations. We'll see. We'll see if we can get you back next year. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll leave it. It's one of those cliffhangers at the end of the Love Island. See who walks in the villa next year.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a break, and we'll come right back.
Sounds good.
All right, what a guest to wrap up this year's football edition of Wake Up the Echoes. We have NFL Hall of Famer Bryant Young. It's great to see you again. Thanks for calling in from California. Let's just start there. What are you up to now? I know Notre Dame fans followed you when you're on campus a few decades back and followed your pro career, but for those that maybe don't know what you're up to now, just how are things going on the West Coast for you and your family?
Yeah, everything's going good. We transitioned out here in July. It's been an adjustment. Just moving for us is always a huge task, and we've been excited to get back to California, and we're still getting settled in, transition. The kids are in school, and they're currently just working here with a few nonprofit foundations, not in the particular area, but some national foundations, nonprofit, and just really kind of not trying to get in the way too much, looking at other opportunities, And that's kind of trying to stay busy with kids, and there's always a ton of different activities that are going on. And so that's been a plus. And then to just being able to be flexible to travel and do some different things and watch Bryce as well this past season. So I don't have a particular job, you would say, but having flexibility to do other things outside of a traditional job, that a commitment, it has allowed me some flexibility to do some things that I like to do.
Yeah, I could see the flexibility on full display this year when I saw you at a lot of the games watching Bryce. Let's just start with that, because obviously it was his first year playing for this team. He had a great impact. And of course, they made it all the way to the title game. Just your first year as a Notre Dame dad, a parent, watching your son play in some of those incredible games. Just what was it like for you in the stands? I'm sure it's different from when you played. Just what was the difference in emotion for you kind of following this past season?
It was good. It was at times I found myself in a surreal kind of moment, just how fast that we've arrived to this point. Just watching him, just even when he started playing football, and then watching his development and going through the recruitment, and then him being there, it's just been surreal. But to be able to watch him do what he's doing, realizing his dreams, goals, and aspirations, and support him where he's at. It's been a very healthy handoff in the right place, a place that I knew he needed before he needed it. And I'm just glad it came to the point where he made that decision for himself. But it's been absolutely amazing to be able to be where he's at now, supporting him, watching him thrive, and just having fun doing it. It was a really successful season, long season, and just watching him sustain and take care of himself and continue to grow during the course of the season has been really fun to watch.
Obviously your connection here, it makes a lot of sense why Bryce would want to go here and why you would maybe encourage him to, or like you said, he made the decision and why you'd support that. But I look at the Notre Dame roster really over the course of the last few years. There's a lot of former NFL players' sons who have played for this team and have played for Coach Freeman. So if you can detach yourself from obviously your personal bias to Notre Dame, and you think about the reasons that so many players maybe want to send their sons here, why do you think that is? Because I don't think it's a coincidence that we've seen that happen. And I get the sense that this is a place that former players, if they can help it, want to kind of steer their kids in the direction of.
When you look at it, Notre Dame it embodies everything that you are trying to instill in your kids as you raise them. The morals, the values, the enlightenment, the spirituality piece, and just the environment where you're gonna feel safe that your kid's there because he's thriving, that he's being taken care of. It's a family atmosphere, but more importantly, he's earning an amazing degree that's really well respected, and I think that's a really good piece. That the comfort for me as a parent to be able to be at Notre Dame, him earning that degree, it goes a long way. But just the environment where he's around a bunch of people that look after him, that care for him, his family. And so I think that's the piece that's really attractive to a lot of people outside of Notre Dame who haven't went there, that want their kids to go there.
If you can, take me back to when you were making the decision. It was a while ago now. You obviously played here in the late 80s, early 90s. Just what went into your decision? It sounds like maybe a lot of the same reasons, but when you were making the choice to come to Notre Dame, what was the biggest factor for why you wanted to be a part of this place?
Yeah, it was a number of things. Proximity had nothing to do with it, even though Notre Dame was an hour and 30 minutes down the road from me. It could have been in Timbuktu. I still would have went. But the feeling that I had just stepping on campus, even before I came to Notre Dame, having gone to Notre Dame on a field trip on the way back from our DC trip in the 8th grade, it was a surreal moment, just kind of visualizing campus and not knowing 4 years later that I would be, enrolled at Notre Dame. But it was a lot of things. It was the academic piece, not really understanding the impact and the phrase 40 for 40, and understanding that it's not a right now decision, it's a lifetime decision. That was a big piece of it. Athletically, Notre Dame was successful. And to be honest, my dad really liked it too, because he got a chance to see me wherever. Because of the NBC contract, and didn't need cable. It was on a national network, and that was an exciting piece. But when I went to Notre Dame on my visit, it just felt like it was the right place because I felt the compassion the guys had for each other. I felt that the leadership and the program where it was at the time, it was very healthy. And it was a place where I could, go and thrive and grow up and mature and develop as a young man.
You had so many highlights in your career, but I think when we talked about when we talked maybe a few months back, and the game I always want to ask people about is that game of the century that was obviously here in 1993 against Florida State. People still talk about it with great reverence, the way it kind of came down to the wire. Just when you flash back to that time, it's hard to believe. I guess that was 32 years ago. Just what comes to mind when you think about playing in that game, because it still is, even all these years later, one of the greatest games in the history of the sport, and to be on the field with so many other good players. I remember when we talked about it a few months back, it's just one of those things that I feel like you can just put yourself right back into it, even so many years later. Yeah,
it's such a when you think about the magnitude of what that was and leading up to that game, it was almost kind of intimidating. Like, wow, we are that team, and we're about to play that team that's number one in the country. And so the prep work, even before we started practice, Lou just did not. He had a way to kind of play with you a little bit, to break you down and build you up, and have you believing that you can run through a brick wall by the end of it. And so I would say during the course of the week, just the messaging was right, how we practice, it was right. But being in the game of that magnitude, we didn't understand it until that Saturday. Just the fanfare, the fans, the atmosphere was a little bit different. And so you just felt the height in the building of all that in that Saturday, 1 versus 2. And wow, just everybody played their part. I would say we didn't have a lot of stars on our team. We had a lot of good guys that cared a lot about each other. The leadership was quality. We had great captains that year, and we had a lot of young guys that played some really important roles. And so, and then on the other side of it, you had some stars and future Hall of Famers as well. And so it was just one of those games. It was a slugfest. It was a black and blue game, as you would say. And I think it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, the highlights stand the test of time. It's such a great rewatch whenever we watch it here on campus over the years. I want to shift a little bit to your pro career, because I think about that game in 93, then your first year in the NFL, you win a Super Bowl in 94. And when we talked last, it was just, I was so fascinated to hear your story about that first year at the pro level, obviously getting acclimated. You had a great team and some great veterans that I know brought you along to the NFL lifestyle, but just to have that success so fast and experience the pinnacle of the sport so earlier in your career, what was that like from your vantage point?
I think Notre Dame really prepared me well, and because we were always, it felt like, on the national stage. We traveled well. We always had fans, so we had I had a mini preemptive of what the NFL would be because of what I experienced in Notre Dame, and the fact too that we always played in January. That was helpful, and we practiced in December. And so when I got there, I didn't feel like the moment was too big. I just knew that coming in as a young guy, that I had a specific role to play, and I needed to play it as well as I could. And so the first thing I got in that locker room, knowing that I had all these different stars in there, was that I had to earn the respect and the right to be able to play on that team, but more importantly, earn the respect of my teammates. And so that was my number one objective: do my part, play my role, and earn the respect.
And then I think about your pro career. You played 14 years with the 49ers every year. You played 4 years at Notre Dame. And I just think about the current state of college and pro sports. I don't want to say one's better than the other. There's the transfer portal now. People move more in free agency. And that's just the way it is. But I get the sense like there's something special, or I think there's something special about you having played really high-level football at two places, Notre Dame and the 49ers. And there's such an identity with you at both of those places. Just what did it mean and what has it meant to you as the years have gone by that, you're a Notre Dame football player and you're a 49er and that's it. And you're in the Hall of Fame for it.
Yeah. When I think about that, two iconic brands that resonate around the world, to be honest. And so to be a part of two iconic brands, it means a lot. I mean, you don't think about the impact and what that meant I knew what it meant being able to represent the brand, but now having a chance to kind of go back and look at it like, wow, I am grateful to have been a part of such and still a part of these unique and iconic brands. And so for me, I wear it with pride. I wear it with honor, and it's something that I don't ever take for granted.
We started this by talking about you getting a chance to watch Bryce throughout this year. I'm curious from your standpoint, when you're able to get back on campus or when you think about Notre Dame, what's maybe the thing that's changed the most since your time here as a student athlete to getting a chance to see what he's going through as a student athlete?
Well, excuse me, there's been just so much development on campus, the buildings, for the better. We certainly didn't have all those amenities that the current student athlete has now.
They're spoiled now.
Yeah. So we had way less, and we didn't know what we didn't have. So it's like, when you don't know, you don't know. So, but that's just the time. It's awesome to see how things have moved forward, and changes happen. Change is inevitable. We all know that. And so, it's always good to go back on campus and just kind of reminisce about the days of old of what it used to be, and imagine in places where they do have new stuff and structures, like, wow, what used to be there, and it's still trying to embrace the new. So it's always fun being back on campus because, just what it was and what it is now. It's incredible. It's just, Notre Dame has done a really good job just staying current and moving things forward. And it's just great to be able to experience that when I'm back there.
Well, Bryant, thanks so much for joining us. It was great to see you at all those games this year, and looking forward to seeing you more on campus and on the road as you continue to be a supportive Notre Dame dad. I'm sure it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
That does it for another great episode of Wake Up the Echoes presented by TireRack.com. What a thrill. 50 episodes in the books, and I can't wait for many more here on the couch in South Bend. Appreciate Bryant Young stopping by, Isaiah Dunn, Leonard Moore, Marcus Freeman is always great to see him, and Mike Martin was great to meet him and chat about all things general manager. All right, before we go, one more reminder, fightingirish.com/wakeup is where you can go to put in your bid to possibly have a chance to bring this cooler into your home. Again, the bidding does not start until April 15th. It'll last until May 15th. And again, the proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Club of Northern Indiana Corridor. So just think about over the next week how you're going to plan your bidding process between April 15th and May 15th, and maybe you'll be the lucky someone that gets this once-in-a-lifetime piece of memorabilia. Until next time, Tony Simeone saying so long from Wake Up the Echoes.